What are our buzzer options this week, Jimmy?
All these Seahawks fans that have invaded Gillette Stadium.
Still not exactly sure where Tommy was going with that, but it doesn't matter. It all works.
It's great.
Next. Mike in Providence. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm phenomenal. Thank you for asking.
Okay. No pleasantries. Go ahead. Next. We'll pick up the story and our thoughts on it after Murray gets you updated. 90 seconds, no thoughts here. Lots of commercials and no thoughts. That's the Felger Mazz Show. Next. I want to watch the game. I'm not there for the
That was clear as day.
Oh.
No, it wasn't.
With a pause for
that wasn't. No,
that
it
was
wasn't.
clear
No,
as
it
day.
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Sure it was.
Yeah, it was.
You guys are so excited. So excited, you two.
Seriously.
God, made your day.
It's the happiest I've been in months.
A little Mazz going in his pants.
Speaking of which, last one.
It's impossible to give pleasure and receive pleasure at the same time. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
What? It was a
What were you talking about?
Nothing.
5 questions that have nothing to do with sports. Name something you tried once and realized immediately it wasn't for you. Most people would answer something like,
I said
some
snowboarding.
sushi,
Yeah.
sambuca, something along these nature.
Licorice.
Mazz goes with that because, as he said, subsequently, I can only do one thing at a time.
It just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Go ahead, hit it.
Yeah, we talk about stuff here. What do you want me to tell you? It's impossible to give pleasure and receive pleasure at the same time. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Number 10, what's going on in New Orleans?
Clint Kubiak, the new offensive coordinator, who interviewed with the Patriots. I think he was like 11th or 12th on their dance card. And he's really freaking good. He was one of the guys that I wanted to target early on. And he's doing a spectacular job so far.
Whatever it is, Derek Carr screwed up.
Yeah, for sure.
Guaranteed.
The pumpkin's coming.
Not the question.
Oh.
Murray?
It's Clint Kubiak, and I would recommend anyone do this because if you put Clint Kubiak into the search bar on Twitter, all the clips come up from these first couple of games, especially this last one against Dallas. All the clips you see, it's like the greatest hits of Shanahan in the Niners. It's timely motion, timely play action, getting guys open in the middle, zone running scheme. And apparently, like if you read Saints fans in the comments too, they're like, our O-line was supposed to suck. Huh, Patriots O-line sucks. You couldn't have hired this guy. You couldn't have given him a ton of money. It's Clint Kubiak.
How about any money?
I think they tried to sign him, and he said no thanks.
Or maybe he asked for a real salary.
No, that could be.
Next.
All these Seahawks fans that have invaded Gillette Stadium.
Number 9, should Tua be allowed to play football ever again?
Sure. It's his life. He can do whatever he wants.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, allowed, sure. But if I'm him, I don't want to be eating my meals through a straw by the time I'm 50. I'd walk away.
It's easy for us to say. We're not wired that way. The whole finger wagging thing just kind of bothers me a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's like, listen, if he were my kid, obviously I wouldn't want him playing football in the first place. Like I get it, but people are wired differently. And like I've always said, if you want to smoke that cigarette, smoke that cigarette. You want to drive your motorcycle without a helmet, 100 miles an hour, it doesn't affect me one bit. Go ahead, go nuts. I feel the same way about a football player who's prone to concussions. That's his life. Next. I want to watch the game. I'm not there for the the effing grab ass. Number 8. Who do you blame for what is happening in Carolina? What would you do if you were in charge down there going forward?
The owner. He has no clue what he's doing. He meddles in everything. He changes things on a whim. What I would do, I would bring somebody in who knows how to run a program and get the hell out of it. I would not give up on Bryce Young. We've seen what happens to these young quarterbacks, and this is part of the reason why you sit Drake May. I would bring in somebody like Belichick with Josh McDaniels, and they'll take care of him. They'll develop him, and if he's not good enough, they'll get rid of him.
Just to make the numbers clear, I also say the owner, counting interims, they've had 5 head coaches in 2+ seasons.
Wow.
Okay? They've had 2 in each of the last 2 years, and now they have a new one again. And they have had 5 quarterbacks in the last 6 years.
Wait.
Okay? So to me, this is the owner. And specifically as it relates to Bryce Young, Frank Reich didn't want him. The owner intervened. They got Bryce Young, who now looks like he can't play. They have a rookie coach who's saddled with a quarterback that the previous guy didn't want. They need to start over with another quarterback and let the football people pick him.
Yeah, it's David Tepper, 31-70 since he bought the team in 2018. They're officially the worst team in the league.
Okay, I don't reject any of that. I mean, the guy's a clown. Fine. I just think it speaks to what I preached about for a while. Most of these kids suck, even the ones you draft up there. If, there weren't many people criticizing them at the time for taking him number one. Maybe there was a debate. Maybe there were some teams that had Stroud ahead of him. So maybe it wasn't a consensus, but it wasn't like people looked at Carolina and said, "You idiots. This guy has no business being up here." No. The industrial draft complex took their pants off and pleasured themselves over clips of Bryce Young running around for Alabama making plays and winning championships. So no, Carolina was applauded at the time for being aggressive and getting the guy. You've got to get a quarterback. So they suck. They draft the kid and he can't play. And
I disagree with that.
He's
I
fine.
mean, you
How
see
big
what's
is
going
he?
on with these quarterbacks that are getting recycled who go to places
He's too
that they
small.
actually get coaching. Well, that may be the case. And
Tiny.
and he
He's too
may
small.
not be able to play, but your contention that these guys suck, no, it's because of the circumstances they get put in and they're rushed way too early, and that's why the Patriots are doing the right thing with Drake May.
Okay, I agree with all that, by the way. I agree. And maybe the only chance a guy like Bryce Young has is for someone to go really slow with him and really, surround him. And so, I mean, I agree with that part. But the whole, suck, draft, play the kid. There are most people out there, most people I'm talking to right now, most fans, want that or are told that's what you do. Suck, get as high of a draft pick as you can, draft the quarterback, and then play him because you got him. He has to play to develop.
Well, I mean, it's just like 2 seconds after this game on Sunday, my Twitter feed's like all Patriots fans saying, they got to start Drake May now.
Like, well, I don't get it. No, but that's a classic example.
You know who their quarterback was before Bryce Young?
It was
Baker Mayfield.
It was, wasn't it?
No, Sam Darnold.
He played 6 games.
Oh, he
that
did
year.
play that. That's right. Oh,
He
right.
did.
Okay.
My fault. Late. Go. Mike in Providence. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm phenomenal. Thank you for asking.
Number 7. Did the refs bail out the Chiefs with that late PI call against the Bengals on Sunday?
No, he was way early. They need to throw the flag.
I say no. That ball was catchable. He was right there. He had his arms up. He got hit before it got there.
Yeah,
No.
fake win. I don't hate the Chiefs like the rest of you people. The time of how that was thrown. Oh, he didn't catch it? Here's the flag. If you're going to throw a flag on that, throw it every time there's a Hail Mary. That was a crock of S. That was garbage. Fake win for the Chiefs. They're 1-1.
Flag.
Flag.
I'm sorry?
It was a flag.
It was a flag. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I'm with Bedard. Flag.
F for flag. F for fake win over there for
Yep,
Murray.
fake
Okay.
win. Chiefs are 1-1.
Number 6.
It's impossible to give pleasure and receive pleasure at the same time.
Along those same lines as the previous question, here are the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL in ratings, top 5 quarterback ratings across the NFL through 2 weeks. Number 1, Derek Carr. Number 2, Baker Mayfield. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 4, Kyler Murray. Number 5, Sam Darnold. Here are the bottom 5. Number 28, Anthony Richardson. Number 29, Deshaun Watson. Number 30, Caleb Williams. Number 31, Bo Nix. Number 32, Bryce Young. What do those rankings tell you?
I don't know. Coaching matters.
Yeah, they tell me it's early. That's what it tells me, and they're going to flip.
I feel Felger.
Highly
He
dra-
doesn't like the answer.
highly drafted quarterbacks that flamed out where they were drafted might be salvageable somewhere else with good coaching, unless you went to Alabama or you're Bo Nix. In that case, you just suck.
What it tells you is young quarterbacks suck. They suck. That's what it tells you. They suck.
Oh, I thought you were doing something with the first-round picks.
No.
Because there are first-round picks on the top there that are good.
They're all high first-round picks. All of them. The good guy. Well, Carr was a second-round pick, I think. But here again, the top 5: Carr, Mayfield, Allen, Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold. Outside of Derek Carr, they're all first-round picks. They're all high first-round picks. So no, it's not. That's not where you're drafted. It's hold your water, develop the guys, get them in the right spot. Just as, again, it's me preaching, but it's the same thing. These dumbass teams and these dumbass fans
Preach.
that just want to lose and draft and then play the kid. You've got to play the kid. He can't improve unless he plays. How is he going to get better unless he plays? I don't know. They just somehow do. They just somehow do. And when you play them early, they tend to suck almost all of them. Almost all of them. Yet every time you all get wrapped up into it, you just want to lose these games, draft higher, and then play the kid. Why? Why? What do you see that lends you to think that's how that works?
Nothing.
Number 5, tool bag question. Jets week. Who's the single greatest Jets tool bag of all time? So many options. Can you narrow it down to one?
For me, it's Woody Johnson. He's just the tool bag owner. Inherits it from his dad, screws everything up, walks around like a jackass. So it's Woody.
I just found out that there's a power tool company named Hercules, appropriately enough. Mark Gastineau was the Hercules power tool of New York Jets.
I knew that was going to be your answer.
That guy was the biggest freaking spoon on the planet, probably still is.
Newly crowned Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you tune into these games. He is so openly demonstrative of when things aren't going his way, like MF and his teammates. He's just been a horrible teammate, and he's Aaron Rodgers. He's a puke. He's the biggest tool bag Jet of all time.
It's amazing they found just like the biggest a-hole on the planet to join the biggest team of a-holes ever constructed.
That franchise is a tool magnet.
It's a tool factory.
It is. Yeah, very good.
Thank you. Go ahead. Next. We'll pick up the story and our thoughts on it after Murray gets you updated. 90 seconds, no thoughts here. No thoughts. Number 4. Who's your favorite Jet of all time, Greg?
Al Toon. I don't know. There's
Love
something
him.
about
Yes,
him. Running
Badger.
down the sideline. Long legs, long arms. I don't know. I just love watching him.
He was good. They had a receiver right before him, I think it was, named Wesley Walker, that I always like. He used to kill the Patriots. Kill the Patriots. I loved them.
Another Patriot killer, the original Wes Welker and Julian Edelman in my lifetime, Wayne Corbett. I loved Wayne Corbett. Every time I'm like, this guy. He's just always open on like third and gotta have it.
Curtis Martin was always a likable player, whether he was a Patriot or a Jet. Maybe one of the few that cross over. Just a classy guy, true pro. He was a great Jet. When Revis was Revis, even though Revis could be kind of a tool, he was so freaking good that I found him great to watch. Anyway, next, Mike in Providence. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm phenomenal. Thank you for asking.
Number 3, if you could take one current player or coach off the Jets roster and give him to the Pats, who would it be?
Garrett Wilson. He would be dynamic on the outside. Give the Patriots like somebody real to throw to. But, of course, he would probably be a jackass here and get frustrated very easily.
Quinnen Williams. I go for the defensive tackle. He's the best player on the team. I go there.
Sauce Gardner, not just because he's one of the best corners in the game, but because he takes no crap from dumb fans on Twitter. He's always like snapping back at him, and he's always griping about his golf game, which sucks, and I find that relatable. So Sauce Gardner.
Next.
All these Seahawks fans that have invaded Gillette Stadium.
Who would you rather have, Greg? Jacoby Brissett or Kirk Cousins?
Brissett. I'm not paying
Oh,
Kirk.
my God.
I'm not paying Kirk Cousins his contract. Not happening. He had a nice night last night. Good for him. He's a freaking dinosaur at this point. He can barely move.
I hate Kirk Cousins, and I'd rather have him. I would. I'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Jacoby Brissett. At least you'd have a chance.
It's Jacoby Brissett holding the seat for Drake May. That's what I want.
They both mostly suck and they can't move, but the arm is more live with Kirk Cousins, and you're going to be in more games with Kirk Cousins. You just are.
Kirk Cousins a better passer.
The Patriots
It's not
are
even
2
close.
for 2 in terms of being in games. The Falcons are what? 1 and 2?
They were in both games.
1-1.
They were?
Yeah. They lost to the Steelers by a field goal.
Oh, yeah, it was the Steelers. Steelers aren't running away from anybody.
I'd go Kirk Cousins, and it's fully admitting Jacoby Brissett's done well. I think he's done well with what he's been given. He's under constant siege. He's made more plays than you would expect with the way that he's getting pressured. No, Jacoby Brissett's done well, better than I thought. I'm still taking Kirk Cousins. I'm not worrying about the money. The money runs out in 1 or 2 years. And at this point, it's not even a question about playing Drake May. You really get to sit him and develop him, as opposed to this thing where in week 3 you're already calling for Drake May. No, I would have gone Kirk Cousins or Baker Mayfield. That's what both those guys were available. I would have ponied up the money for 2 years of real money for those guys, and that's what I would have done. I think both those teams did better than you did on these bridge quarterbacks. Said it from day one. Last one, hit it. I want to watch the game. I'm not there for the
That was clear as day.
No, it wasn't.
With a pause for
that
It wasn't. No,
that
it
was
wasn't.
clear
No,
as
it
day.
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Sure was.
Happiest kids in Boston right there. Who do you blame more for the Eagles' loss last night, Greg? Nick Sirianni for calling that pass play on 3rd and 3 with 1:40 left and the Falcons out of timeouts, or Saquon Barkley for dropping the ball?
I go with Sirianni. They were at, so I didn't see I saw the final drive. I didn't see what led up to it. So they had no timeouts left.
Right.
Falcons had no timeouts. There was a running clock with 1:40 left, or would have been if they had run the ball.
You got to run the clock out. You got to run the clock and kick the field goal, and but their defense was definitely on the list.
Barkley, catch the ball. It was basically a running play, for crying out loud. He's one of the best pass-catching running backs in the league. Even with all his injuries, he's got the 5th most catches by a back since he came in the league, which was 6 years ago.
Wow.
Catch the effing ball, you clown.
Yeah, he had frying pan hands for sure and should have made that play. It was open. But I put it on Sirianni because if you're going to be that aggressive on 3rd down and run a pass play that doesn't work, well, guess what, buddy? You've now pot committed to go for it on 4th down. They should have, because you're playing the clock as much as you are the Falcons at that point. So even if you run it and get stopped, you run off more clock. And then you got to trust your defense to stop the Falcons. They needed to go for it, not kick the field goal there on 4th down.
3rd and 3. Why wouldn't you just do 2 tush pushes? No one stops that.
Sure, that's fine too.
You do one for a yard and a half. Now you're 4th and 1. Clock's ticking. Do it again.
Just catch the ball.
That defense was freaking horrendous. To let the Falcons do that with no timeouts, it was like easy.
It was like 3 plays. They moved.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. They have no pass rush. God, that was delicious. There won't be a funnier loss this year in the NFL. That was so great. And you know why it happened? Did you see who was waddling around the sidelines on the Eagles sideline before the game?
Oh, we'll get to this.
The old stench of Patricia. Funny how that doesn't go away.
Wait, he was there?
Oh, he was.
Oh, yeah, with Bill.
After being...
No, he was Bill's major domo. He was Bill's little penny following Bill around.
Wait, so Bill was at the game?
Bill and Patricia were walking the field pregame.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.